Good morning, English learners. This is Real English Flow, the podcast that wakes up with you and helps you speak English like a real person. Let's start the day right. Jake, quick question.
Already? We just started.
What time did you wake up today?
I would rather not say.
That bad?
Let's just say the sun was already having a full day by the time I opened my eyes.
Okay, so not 6 in the morning.
Definitely not 6 in the morning. What about you?
6:15. And I felt so good about it. Like I had already won something before breakfast.
That is either very inspiring or very annoying. I haven't decided yet.
Well, today, that's exactly what we're talking about. The 6 a.m. rule.
The idea that waking up early, really early, changes something in you.
Not just your schedule, something deeper.
And we're going to talk about it in simple, natural English. So if you're a beginner, perfect. This episode was made for you.
Subscribe if you haven't yet, hit the bell, and come on in. The morning is waiting.
Okay, Lily, I need you to be honest with me.
Always.
Do you actually enjoy waking up at 6?
The first 3 seconds? No, absolutely not.
Thank you for your honesty.
But second 4, something shifts. The house is quiet. The world hasn't started yet. And for a moment, everything belongs to me.
That's actually beautiful.
Right? And that feeling, that quiet, calm, the world is mine feeling, that's what the 6 a.m. rule is really about.
It's not about suffering. It's not about being productive at 5:47 in the morning.
It's about finding time that is fully yours before the day takes over.
Before the messages arrive, before the noise starts, before everyone needs something from you.
And today, we want to talk about that. What happens to people who find that time? What changes? And some simple ways to start, even if right now, 6 a.m. feels completely impossible.
Spoiler, it felt impossible for me too, for a long time.
And here's what else we'll do. Every idea, every story, every moment of this conversation is your English practice. Real words, real rhythm, real people talking.
No grammar lectures, no vocabulary tests. Just a conversation that moves.
Let's go.
Can I tell you something I noticed the first time I woke up really early?
Please.
I made coffee. I sat by the window, and there was this man outside walking his dog. Slowly, no phone, no headphones, just him and the dog and the quiet street.
And
And I thought, that man knows something the rest of us don't.
he's unlocked a secret level.
Exactly. And I felt like I had unlocked it too, just by being awake at that hour.
There's actually something real behind that feeling. Early morning has a completely different energy.
It does. The air feels different. The light is softer. Even sounds are different. You hear birds instead of traffic.
And your brain is different too. Fresh, not yet full of the day's problems.
Scientists call it the golden hour, the time right after waking when your mind is most open and most creative.
Golden hour, like in photography, when the light is perfect and everything looks better than it actually is.
Yes, except it's real. Your brain genuinely works differently in that window.
Ideas come easier, decisions feel clearer. Even simple things like writing a message or planning your day feel less heavy.
Because you're not reacting yet. You're just thinking.
And thinking without pressure is a rare and beautiful thing.
So the 6 a.m. rule isn't really about 6 a.m. It's about finding your golden hour before the world finds you.
Okay, here's where I want to push back a little.
Oh, good. I like when you push back.
Because we talk about waking up early like it's just a decision. Like you can just decide tomorrow, 6 a.m., and it happens.
And you're saying it's not that simple?
I'm saying I tried that many times. I set the alarm for 6, and every single morning the alarm went off and I made a deal with myself.
What kind of deal?
The kind where I said, okay, 6:30 is basically the same as 6. And then 7 is basically the same as 6:30.
The negotiation begins.
The full negotiation. My brain is remarkably good at arguing with itself at 6 in the morning.
So what changed?
I stopped trying to fix the morning and started fixing the night before.
Say more.
Because here's the truth. If you go to bed at midnight watching videos and thinking about everything you need to do tomorrow, 6 a.m. will always feel like punishment.
Your body never actually rested.
Right. You were technically in bed, but your brain was still running.
So the 6 a.m. rule starts the night before, with a decision to wind down, to slow down, to actually prepare for sleep. Not perfectly. I'm not saying you need a whole routine with candles and meditation, although candles are nice. Candles are great. Even just phone down 30 minutes earlier. 1 glass of water, a few slow breaths. Small signals to your body. We're done now. It's time.
And when your body gets that signal, 6 a.m. stops feeling like an alarm. It starts feeling like a natural arrival.
Like waking up because you're ready, not because something is screaming at you.
Which is a very different experience.
Okay, so let's say you wake up at 6. The house is quiet. You have this golden hour. Now what?
Great question. And I think this is where a lot of people go wrong.
How so?
They wake up early and immediately try to be productive. Check emails, write reports, start the to-do list.
And suddenly the peaceful morning feels like work.
Exactly. You just moved your stress to an earlier time slot,
So the morning becomes a smaller version of the rest of the day.
which defeats the whole purpose.
So what should you do instead?
Something that belongs only to you. Something with no goal, no deadline, no result.
Like what?
I'll tell you what I do now. I make coffee. Real coffee, not fast coffee. I take my time.
There's a difference?
Oh, there is absolutely a difference. Fast coffee is when you're already running late and you drink it standing over the sink.
Ha, I know that coffee.
Real coffee is when you sit down, hold the cup, feel the warmth, and just exist for a moment.
That sounds almost too relaxing.
It is, and that's the point, because the rest of the day will ask a lot from you. This moment asks nothing.
I like to read in the morning, even just 10 pages of something I actually enjoy. Not something useful, not a business book.
Something you read for pleasure.
Something that reminds me that I'm a person and not just a to-do list.
That's a phrase worth remembering. A person and not just a to-do list.
We all need that reminder sometimes,
Especially on Mondays.
especially on Mondays.
Here's something I want to share that I think will land differently for some people.
Go ahead.
The benefits of waking up early don't happen in one morning. They build
Slowly.
very slowly. The first week, you might feel more tired because your body is adjusting.
Your body is basically confused. Wait, we're doing this now?
Yes, it takes time. But around week 2 or 3, something shifts.
What kind of shift?
You start the day feeling like you made a choice, not like the day happened to you.
That's a big difference.
Huge. Because most people feel like their day is something that arrives and pulls them along.
Like a current in the river. You just go where it takes you.
But when you have that morning hour, you step out of the current for a moment. You stand on the bank. You look around. You decide which direction you want to go.
And then you step back in, but now you're steering.
Now you're steering. And that feeling, after weeks and months of quiet mornings, becomes part of who you are.
It becomes your identity. I'm someone who wakes up early. I'm someone who has mornings.
And identity is incredibly powerful because when something is part of who you are, you protect it.
You don't negotiate with it at 6 a.m.
Exactly. The alarm goes off and your identity says, this is what we do.
No negotiation needed. Okay, I know someone out there right now is thinking, this is all lovely, but I am simply not a morning person.
I hear ya. I said the same thing for years.
And there's real science behind it. Some people's bodies naturally want to sleep later and wake later.
Night owls and morning larks.
Night owls stay up late and do their best work at night. Morning larks are up with the sun.
And most people assume they know which one they are.
But here's the interesting thing. A lot of people who call themselves night owls are actually just people who were never given a reason to love their mornings.
That's honest.
Because mornings were always about rushing, getting ready fast, getting out the door, fighting traffic.
The morning was never yours. It belonged to the schedule.
So of course you didn't want to wake up early. Why would you?
But when the morning has something good in it, something you actually want, the equation changes.
It's not about forcing yourself to be a morning person. It's about building a morning worth waking up for.
One small thing, one quiet ritual, one reason to open your eyes and think, oh, good, it's that time.
And that reason is different for everyone. Coffee, silence, a walk, a few pages of a book, your favorite song.
Even just sitting outside for 5 minutes and doing nothing at all.
Nothing is underrated.
Nothing is deeply underrated.
Jake, I want to say something a little bigger here.
Bigger how?
I think the way we treat our mornings says a lot about the way we treat ourselves.
That's a big sentence.
It is. But think about it. If every morning you wake up and the first thing you do is reach for your phone, you're saying other people's thoughts are more important than my own.
Right. You let the outside world in before you've even checked in with yourself.
And if every morning you wake up late and rush, you're saying, I don't have time for myself. I only have time for what others need from me.
But when you protect that morning hour, you're saying something completely different.
You're saying, I matter. My thoughts matter. My peace matters.
And that message, repeated every single morning, slowly changes how you move through the world.
You become someone who takes themselves seriously.
Without being serious all the time. Just intentional. Present.
Like that man walking his dog. No phone, no rush, just fully there.
Maybe that's the whole lesson right there.
Maybe it is.
Be the man with the dog at 6 a.m.
That is now officially the title of my life guide.
Before we close, let's pick 3 words from today that are really worth keeping.
Not a list, just a conversation about words we used naturally today.
First one, ritual. We said morning ritual.
A ritual is something you do regularly in a specific way, not because you have to, but because it means something to you.
Making coffee slowly is a ritual. Reading 10 pages every morning is a ritual. It's small, but it belongs to you.
You can use it like, I have a little morning ritual that helps me start the day right. Or, my evening ritual helps me wind down before bed.
Second word, intentional.
Intentional means doing something on purpose, with a reason, not just by habit or by accident.
Like, I'm trying to be more intentional with my time. Or, she made an intentional decision to wake up earlier.
It's a word that sounds thoughtful because it is thoughtful.
And the third one, wind down.
Oh, this is a good one. To wind down means to slowly relax and reduce your energy at the end of the day.
Like a clock that is slowly stopping, winding down.
You can say, I need an hour to wind down after work. Or, I wind down by reading before bed.
These 3 words, ritual, intentional, wind down, they come up constantly in real English conversations about lifestyle, habits, well-being.
Learn them. Use them. They'll make you sound natural and confident.
And here's today's challenge. Tonight, before you sleep, do one small thing intentionally. Make it your wind down ritual.
Just one thing, and see how tomorrow morning feels different.
Lily, genuinely one of my favorite conversations we've had.
Same. It felt real, like something we needed to say out loud.
And I hope everyone listening feels something simple but true right now.
You don't have to change everything. You don't have to wake up at 5. You don't have to have a perfect morning routine with 16 steps.
You just need one quiet moment that belongs to you.
One moment before the day begins, where you remember, I'm a person, not just a schedule.
And that moment, protected every day, becomes something bigger than you expect.
So here's our question for the comments. What is one thing you would do if you had a quiet hour every morning just for yourself?
Tell us. We genuinely want to know.
If this episode made you feel something, please like it. It really helps us reach more people.
Subscribe to Real English Flow. New episodes every week. Real conversations, real English, real life.
Share this with someone who keeps saying they are not a morning person. Maybe they just haven't found their reason yet.
Next week, we are talking about something that a lot of people feel, but very few people talk about. How to keep going when you feel like giving up.
That one is going to be honest, and I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Turn on the bell. You don't want to miss it.
Until then, sleep well, wake gently.
And remember, the best mornings start the night before.
See you next week.
Bye, everyone.